such an international group of light workers and people fascinated about color and light. Welcome to the Color Lights World Project. Tonight, live from Zagreb, Croatia, where I'm now. My name is Gabrielle and I'm the founder of the Color Lights World Project. Tonight, we have the pleasure of greeting Rikke Godthjaelp from Copenhagen, Denmark. She has been running since 2004 her Godthjaelp Institute, where she treats and teaches auriculotherapy and chromotherapy. Enjoy the journey through the 7 colors of Dr. Nogier with her. Welcome, Rikke.
Thank you very much, kindly, Gabrielle. And thank you for everybody for joining this evening. I'm very pleased to see so many people here. It's super nice. So the evening is gonna, I'm planning to go like this. I'm gonna take you through the some pain relief treatment with the Nogier colors directly on the body. And we're gonna look at some stress relief as well. And then you, of course, welcome to ask questions if there is something that you don't understand that I'm saying. Otherwise, we're gonna take the last time of the session to ask any questions that you want, and I will see if I can answer them. I will do my very best. And so if you have any questions, please write them down so that you remember to ask them. I would be very delighted if there is anything that I can answer to increase the work of this light therapy that we are all keen to work with. So today the focus that I'm going to bring is to the Nogier basic filters. So the 7 Nogier basic filters. And there are so many ways to use these filters. There are so many ways to treat with these filters, and I'm going to show you a very easy way to do this, to treat. So this is a way to treat for therapists, and it's also a way to treat if you're not a therapist. So it's easy and safe for everybody to use this, as long as you follow certain guidelines. So you can use this treatment that I'm doing and advance it, and you can do it very basic. So it's actually up to you and to where you are in your knowledge of colors and the Nogier colors, and well, colors all in all, I guess. So I have been on some very amazing journeys with you all through this world color experience here, where there have been many seminars. And today it's very much about, like I already said, therapy. So it's very specific. So please feel free to ask any questions that you want. I'm going to take you on to a PowerPoint run through, and well, any question you have, just write them down, and Gabrielle, she will interrupt when it feels right, and then I can try and answer. Okay, so bear with me for a second. I just have to share the screen, and I will share here, and we'll do the run through here. So I hope that you can see the screen, the PowerPoint on your screen in the full version here. You should know that now that I put on this PowerPoint session, I can only see very few of you. So if you're making any waving to ask any questions, I can't see that, just so you know. All right, so first, today we're going to talk about the 7 Nogier colors. We're going to talk about how to treat plain pain and inflammation, and how to give stress release. And then at the end, I have a little surprise, of course, a little color surprise. So always honor the origin. So whenever I do any teaching, I try to honor the origin of the people who have been founding this. And in the case that that we're working on, in this case that we're working on today, it's Paul Nogier that you see here in black and white. And he is the founding father of what we call the auriculotherapy, and later on auricular medicine. And he is also the founder of the 7 basic filters. And then you see Raphael. I never met Paul Nogier, but I met Raphael on several occasions, and here you have him. And me after a very long seminar, so I might look a bit tired, but it's not because it wasn't interesting, it's because, you know, so many things are happening here. All right, today before we start, I would like you just to hear very fast how the Nogier filters are built from egg cell and sperm to the conscious mind, just so you have an idea of how this system works. So for this, I will take you off the slides, because the next thing that we're going to look at is the different colors. But just to give you an idea on how this system is built, I will try just to explain real fast. So all these colors are based on the 7 basic filters that are based on frequencies that are based on the way the cells develop. So from when we are 1 cell, this is when we have the A frequency. So, and I will just show you very fast here. This is an A frequency. Here is an orange filter, and here, and the A frequency is the 1 cell. As soon as we become a unit, we become 2 cells, and then we become the B filter. So we'll have the B filter will represent as soon as we have the metabolism, and where you have cells working together. And then when those divide, they divide into 4 cells, and then we'll have the C. And as soon as we have the C, this is the yellow filter, and we'll have the C here, the C filter. And when we get to the C filter, we are starting to work with the softer tissue, like the smooth muscles, like the digestion, but also the muscles in themselves. Once they again divide, then we'll get the D filter, and this is a red filter. This red filter, the D filter, works also with locomotion, so also with the muscles, but also with the locomotions between right and the left side. So this thing about working from one side to the other, to be able to communicate with one side to the other side, one hemisphere to the other hemisphere. And one more dividing, we'll get the E filter. And the E filter, we'll have it here, and we'll look more into that later, or actually real soon. And the E filter works on the skin and the whole nervous system. And this E filter is just before, this color is just before our subconscious. So this is the next level, is our subconscious, and this is the F filter. And this has like a deep purplish color. Sometimes it looks blue, sometimes it looks purple. And the F filter is our subconscious. And also it works on a hormonal level. So this is how we reach the whole limbic system in the middle of the brain, and the way that that hormonal system works. And at the end, we have the conscious mind. And this is pink, of course, it's a super beautiful color. So this pinkish color is the conscious mind. So when we work with this filter, we work on the conscious mind. So this is actually the 7 basic filters that we're working on. So from egg cell to the conscious mind.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna mute here. And when we work with the filters, this is the way we think about it through the treatment. So this was just to get you started and having a feeling of how these filters are used. So now I'm going to go back to sharing screen again. And here we go. Oh, I think we went back to the start. We're just going to jump right here. So when treating pain, in this way of using the filters, what we do first is give relief. So in other ways of treating, you don't give pain relief first, but in this way, in this way that I'm teaching you right now, first you relieve the patient or the client of pain. And for pain, we use the filter. This is the E filter that I said we would get to real fast. We'll use this filter because it works on the nervous system. So to release the pain, we'll work on the nervous system. And I promise you in a minute, I will get to how to do this. So first, I'll just explain to you the colors that we use to do this pain relief. And then I'll show it to you. And if you want me to run through a specific color again, I'll be happy to do that. So when treating pain, first relieve the pain. So first you give physical relief of the pain. And here we use the E filter. It's called E44. This is for your information. If you later want to be able to get this specific filter, you need that name. So every color can be used for a various number of treatments. So this color you could also put on your skin and treat different skin diseases. You could also light it over your stomach, and it will strengthen the probiotic process in your intestines and therefore your digestion. So this filter has more than one thing to it, but in the treatment, we're using it for pain relief. The next thing we're going to do is that we're going to relieve the conscious mind of this pain. So let's say that somebody fell and broke their ankle or twisted their ankle, or somebody was in a fight, or if you fell on a bike or you were in a car accident, you get some pain. You get the physical pain, and then you get the trauma of the event. And this is on the conscious level of the mind. So you know this happened to you. And that kind of trauma, we would use the G30 to treat with. So when we have something that we're conscious about, we use the G30. So now that we know that this is a trauma that we had because we fell or a dog bit us or whatever happened, we have to also use this filter to relieve that trauma. So first the E44 and then the G30. This color can also be used to stress relief and for treating clinching. The next thing we would do would be to treat the muscles, the muscle tissue, or if there is a broken bone. So let's say that somebody fell and or twisted the ankle, and some bones around the ankle broke. Then this would be a way to make that bone heal in a better and faster way. Of course, only better if the bone has been placed rightly again. So if there is something broken, don't forget to only treat with this filter if the bone has been put right again, so that it's in the right place. Because otherwise it will start growing faster, and this is not something that we want if we're not specifically sure that that the bone is in the right place. So this filter because it moves the softer tissue, the intestines. This can be used to treat mild constipation or diarrhea, and it can also be used to strengthen the joints. Again, I promise you I will come back to how we do these treatments. The next thing we do is we want to increase the blood circulation. So for treating blood circulation, we use the B25. When we use the B25, we make the blood circulation come to the area. We make the blood circulate in the area, and this is very important because we want this if there is no open wounds, there is no open scars. If we have an open wound, like let's say we fell and broke something, and it opened up, and it would bleed, and maybe there would, let's say there is a day gone by, or 2 days or 3 days, there would still be a surface of scarring, and the tissue would still not have healed. Then it is very important that you do not use this color, because it will increase the blood circulation, and it can open the scar, and it can make blood come to an area where it's not wanted yet. So be attentive. This is if you want to increase the blood circulation. And because it increases the blood circulation, it will also strengthen the immune system, and therefore also treat allergy. So this is very, very good if you want to increase blood circulation actually anywhere in your body. Let's say that there is an open wound. So you have a person that is hurting, and then there is an open wound, or the wound hasn't healed yet. You still want to treat the immune system, and you still want the healing to happen faster. Then you would use the A21. When you use the A21, you don't get as much blood flow in the area. So you still treat the bruise, you still treat the edema, you still make a little circulation, but it's not as aggressive. Not aggressive is a wrong word, but it's not as can you say, as pushy as the B. It's not so as activating as the B filter would be in the circulation. So this is actually you treating a pain. So we started with the E44, we went on to the G30, and from that we went to the C3, and from there to the B or the A filter, the B25 or the A21. Could you use the B25 and the A21, both of them? Of course you could. Of course you could. So since the A21 is also good for scarring, if there is a lot of scar tissue in the area, then it's very good to also use this. And you can use this. This treatment is not for something that has just happened necessarily. It can also be an older pain. You know, it can be something acute, or it can be something that is that happened a while ago. So both of these things are possible. This is a treatment of a woman. This is from one of my colleagues. I did not do this treatment, but this colleague of mine, she documented it so we could see how fast this treatment actually works. So I don't know how good the light is on your computer, and there's always a difference in the lights, and we have to remember that. But this woman, she fell on the sidewalk, and she had glasses on, and she fell right on her face, and those glasses went right to her the nose bone here, and maybe broke it. And then there was a lot of blood flow out, and you will see the blood flow here on the side. So the first picture you see is over here, and this is from the second day. And the treatment was like this. My colleague started by treating locally. And this is how you do the treatment. You light the color, and I will show you how to do that right after this. You light the color on the area where the problem is. So it's a direct treatment. It's not a treatment on the ear, even though this is auricular therapy. It's not a treatment on other places of the body like we also do in auricular therapy, because we can also treat the whole body by putting color on it when we use auricular medicine. This is a treatment where you use direct treatment. So you have a pain, or like here, edema and blood cluster in an area, and you treat directly. So here there was treated around the eyes. So first doing this soft movements around the eyes with the color, and both eyes, and on the side down here by the nose, and over the nose bone here. And every color is used for around 1 minute. And then, actually, I forgot a step, but we will come to the steps in a minute. So before you start treating, you always ask, how is the pain right now? From 0 to 10, where 10 is the worst you can imagine and 0 is none. Where is the pain right now? Because it's always good to ask that before, so that you have something to measure by. So you ask about the pain, then you do the treatment around 1 minute with each color. And then just let the person stand up or move here. This she can move her face and feel how the pain is. If it's in the shoulder, let the person, roll the shoulder around. And then after that, ask again, how is the pain now? And if the pain moved to another area, if you can see that an area has reacted and another area hasn't, then you move your treatment. You always adjust along the way. And then what you do is that you go through the same colors again. If you have the possibilities of doing this a few times a day, and then that's wonderful. If you have the possibility of doing it once a day, it's wonderful. If you have the possibilities of doing it a few times a week, that's also good. It will still help even though you do not do this every day. This woman, she was treated every day for 2 weeks for a fortnight. I know that there are some British people here. And she went to this in 2 weeks. And I myself think that's quite good for this woman. She is an older woman, and this is fast recovery after a really, really bad fall. Let me just see the next slide. So how to do this? So this is how you can use it. You can use it if you're a therapist, or if you are a private person and you don't use auricular therapy, you would use like a torch, and I will show you firsthand in a minute. And if you already have this device or something that looks like it, you can use a professional device, but it won't do anything bad for you to use the other to use the LED. So I will get off the slideshow and stop sharing here. So I will try and show you how this works. So I'm going to use this torch. It's just a regular torch, very cheap. I don't know, 3-5 euros, something like that. And what you do is that you take your filter, and let's just take it in the right order here. So I take my filter. This is the E44, and I take this filter. If this was on the lady, I would take this filter. She would of course close her eyes, and I would just run it around here, run it around her eye, and it would be like 1 minute all in all. So just doing that, very, you can do it slower. It's up to you. When you use this treatment, you use the feel that you have. You use your intuition on it. If you are a skilled auricular therapist, you would use what we call the VAS or the RAC or the Nogier pulse. And if you are a skilled practitioner and you're using the pulse, you would treat with the color in the areas where you feel vas, and you will treat until there is no more vas. But hold a little back if it's more than a minute or two. Then you would go on to the next color. We don't want to overdo it. We don't want to stress the tissue by over treating. So this is easy. You take the filter and you hold it in front, and you just run it over the tissue. And then after a minute or two, you take the next filter. It's the G30, and you run it over the surface. This could be on a surface over the shoulder. It could be on the lower back. It could be a toothache. It could be like here where you have eyes that are swollen and blue and reddish. It could be, I don't know what you call it in English. We call it a mouse hand. You know, when you work with the mouse all the time and you get this injury from working all day on the computer. That could be around the wrist, that could be in the elbow, it could be in the shoulder. So it doesn't have to be like an injury from something punching or falling or breaking or in a car accident. It doesn't have to be like that, very physical. It can also be something that's been building up. And now you already in this seminar, you already seen what the different things can do. So you can adjust to fit. Like, is it more about the inflammation and less about the muscle or a broken bone, or is it more about the stress release? Is it more about the nerve? Is it like hitting a nerve all the time? You know, so now you already know a bit about the different colors. So then you can adjust to that specific person. And if you do the vas or the Nogier pulse, then you can adjust by taking the pulse or the vas, the rack, at the same time, and always treat until there is no more vas. Or if you think it's a bit too excessive, then stop at some point. I just want to show you, this is the Pro one. This is just a rubber band that I put on because we are more in my clinic here, so in the institute, so to recognize my own. But you can buy a wheel with the different colors in, but you can also use these different filters to put directly in here. And it would be the same way of treating. Just run it over the person's face or arm, shoulder, toothache, whatever. And just a little thing here, when you treat here, you can either treat with the colors and then also a frequency, or you can use to treat with just the color. And for that, you go into the lumen state where you just hold down this button for 2 seconds and it will go to just color and no frequency. So that's up to you. Some people think it's a bit excessive when you also use the frequency at the same time as using the color. All right. Let me just show you one thing before, and then maybe we can take a question if there are any questions. Just want to go through this. Here we are. All right, let's just see here. So just to sum it up. So ask about the pain level from 0 to 10. When testing the pain level, the person that is testing their pain cannot touch the area. So you know that when you have a pain in your shoulder, you have a tendency to put your fingers in it and saying, oh, when I press right here, or if I put my fingers in my lower back, it hurts. When you do this testing, you can do all the movements that you want. You can sit up, you can lie down, you can do twist, you can do side stretches, whatever you want, but you cannot push into the tissue. When you do that, it gives a false sensation of if this pain relief is actually working. So any kind of movement you want to do, but no pushing the area, no putting your fingers into the area. Then you treat with each of these colors that we've been running through for approximately a minute or so. And then when treating, like I said, use your intuition, like have the feeling like, oh, I think I need to stay on this area a little more and use the other area a little less, or well, I know that this is the pain here in the lower back, but I have a feeling that I have to go a little higher on this lower back area, or a little lower on the knee, or wherever you are. So just, you are people working with colors. I know I'm sure you have very good intuitions and open hearts. So don't forget to use that. It's very important when treating. And we are using colors. So we are using, everything from us. If the pain, then when you have been treating with these 5, 6 colors, then you will ask again for the pain level from 1 to 10, or from 0 to 10. And if the pain has moved or shifted, changed, then you fit your treatment to fit that change. So if the pain has moved to another area, then you start treating that area. If it's more higher now, or the pain has almost gone except for a specific area, or you can see that the swallowing has fallen except for a specific area, or the pain has been released but the mind is still the thing that is more stressed, then you change your treatment to fit that change. So, and then you repeat it. And like I said, if possible, you can treat up to 3 times daily. That is an excessive amount of treatment. And then you have to do slight treatment. Then you cannot do 2 minutes on each color. Then you do a little treatment on each color, and then like 30 seconds, 1 minute with each color, of course, depending on the area. And then you can ask, how are you doing? And then do 1 more turn. But you have to know. And I know you know, because you love colors, guys. So I know you know this, but color is more powerful than many people think. So we have to be careful not to overdo it, because we are therapists, most of us here, I guess. And because of that, we want to help. This is our calling. So we want to give the best, and we want to give more, and we want to give even more. And we really have to take care of that when treating with colors, because it is a strong tool. All right. So, oh yeah, I just wanted to know here if there was any questions, Gabrielle.
Yes.
Maybe not.
I don't see any questions right now, but maybe we can ask if there is actually some question coming up.
If there are no questions, that's also good. I just don't want, I can talk forever about this. I can just talk and talk. So sometimes I just have to stop myself to give space so that you can ask your questions.
Okay.
All right. So if there is anything, Gabrielle, you'll just stop me. Oh, carpal tunnel syndrome and wrist pain. Yes, exactly. This is what I was talking about. Thank you very much. So let's get back to sharing the screen. Here we go. So now we also have to talk a little about how to relax the mind. And for this, I have various ways of treatment. Again, this is a simple treatment, and we're treating directly on the body. Oh, I have to go back here. And wait, now we're going too fast. So how to calm the mind? To calm the mind, very often we can do this with the F98. The F98 is the subconscious mind. This is, when you just feel tired, but you don't specifically know why. Of course, you can also feel tired and know why. And then you can use the G30, because it's something that something that's conscious. This is subconscious. So if you just have these days where you feel sad and you don't know for what reason you feel sad, or if you're just completely bummed out because so many things are happening, but you don't know which one is just taking your energy, this is just a way to treat. I wrote here the third eye. If you're acupuncturist, you would know it as yin tang. This is right between the eyes a little. If you have right between your eyebrows and then a little up, this is where we have the third eye. And this has nothing to do with that it's spiritual. I'm sorry to say. This is because in this area, we have cells that relate directly to the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is also one of the hormonal glands that regulates our sleep paths by increasing or suppressing the melatonin in the body. So when we use the F filter, we have a passage when we put light, when we shine light on this area, we have a passage to the limbic system. So what it does is that it calms the limbic system. So it calms the hormones. It makes you relax. It makes the mind calm. And when you shine with this filter, you would put it on your forehead. Again, just use a flashlight, or if you are advanced and you have a Premier 40, then by all means you use that one. And then you shine until the on your third eye or in Jin Tang, and you shine and you put the light on here for 5 to 10 minutes. I would say just sitting with that one, you will just feel it's just like when you sit and start meditating. You will just relax your body, relax your mind. So this is a very efficient way, and this is also something that you can do at home, and also something that you can use on your clients. Then we have the laterality and the concentration issue here. So this is also a way of calming the mind. So when we work with the D24, we work with what we call laterality or symmetry. And this means that we're working with the right and the left side of the body, which also indicate that we're working with the right and the left side of the hemisphere. That's the right and left brain side. So when we work with those, with this filter, we can make the laterality better. And by making the laterality, the cooperation between right and left hemisphere, we increase concentration. So let's say that people have problems reading, calculating, concentrating, focusing on reading a book. This is also typical for people who always fall asleep when they're watching TV. You know, they just fall asleep because they get an overload. Of course, I'm not talking about if you come home from 20 hours of work and you've been just, you know, really working hard. Of course, then everybody falls asleep. But if you are one of those people, you know, you feel quite well, and then you sit down in front of a telly and bam, you fall asleep. Or you take a book, bam, you fall asleep as soon as you start reading. Then you should work on your laterality. You can do that by working with eye movements, and then you should ask Nathan Oxenfeld. He is an expert in working with the eyes. And you can also work with colors. So when using this D44, again, you take your flashlight or you take your Premier 40, you put this filter in front of it, and then you slide from side to side on your forehead, very calmly. You slide just from side to side. And this activates the collaboration between the right and left hemisphere. I have a very dear friend and colleague who treats a lot of kids that have problems focusing in school. She treats a lot of ADHD and ADD and Asperger children and so on. And you can also use this on adults that has ADHD. It's not to say that this is only for children, but this has been tested many times on children. And she uses this every time just to make them fall back and fall into the bench. You know, they calm down straight away. So just slightly from side to side, and you do this around 10 times. So it doesn't necessarily have to take very long. So like I said, treatment for behavioral problems like ADHD, or also with coordination of movements. If you have problems with coordinating movements, like I know people that cannot, you know, twist the hips They cannot do like that. If they do like that, when they do like that, they just like the whole body is kind of, they have the difficulties of taking one elbow to the opposite knee, things like that. All this coordination from right to left side. In this case, you work with the filter. Of course, it's also important that if you want to start working with your different sides and getting better at coordinating and thereby concentrating, you can also, I know this maybe sounds a little strange for some of you, but start crawling again, start climbing ladders, things like that, where you coordinate. This is something that's very good to treat concentrational problems. So we're already at the bonus filter. And the reason that I have taken this as a bonus filter is because it's actually what we could call the 8th of the basic filters. So the 7 basic filters are found by Paul Nogier, the founder of the Auriculo, and Raphael, the son of Paul Nogier, Dr. Raphael Nogier and Dr. Paul Nogier. Dr. Raphael Nogier, he found the L frequency. And the L frequency also stands for laterality. So we use the L filter to treat laterality. We use it to work on what I've just been talking to you about with the B filter. But more and more, we're actually using this color, this beautiful green color, to treat pain directly on the body, and also to treat calming the mind. And when you want to calm the mind with this color, you light in the middle. You have to, well, I don't want to ruin my hair right now, but you can do that if you have a patient lying down. You divide the hair in the middle and you just shine a light right in the middle here. Again, forth and back. And just very calmly you do that. And this will also relax the mind. And I know we're talking about right and left hemisphere, but this is to affect what we call the corpus callosum. I don't know what it's called in English, but this is the highway between the right and the left hemisphere. And to activate that and make the passage work better, we also use, like we also use the D filter, we use the green 58. This color you can also put directly on any kind of pain. And you already have a recipe for treating the pain. And in that recipe, you could add the green 58. If you add this filter, I would put it in the beginning with the E44 and then maybe the green 58. If you do the VAS, you can test. Usually it will be one of those two filters, the E44 or the green 58, that will be the stronger one in that situation. All right. So I have a last color for you before I take any questions, if you have any questions. So this was the bonus filter, and then I have a little surprise color for you. This is a filter called the 16. It's a yellow 16, or it's called yellow 16, but I think it's more of an orange. Could you call it orange yellow? This filter is when there is torn or broken, torn bones no, broken bones or torn nerves. So if you've been in an accident and you have a broken arm, broken leg, something like that, this is amazing filter to run over again. Make sure that the bone has been placed back where it should be. So you have to, this person has to have been at the doctor's before. So don't treat something where you're not sure if the bone is placed correctly. And also torn nerves, this will also increase the healing of the nerve system in that area. So not only does this strengthen the healing of the nerve, it also strengthens the healing of the bones. It also strengthens the bones. So like if you have osteoporosis or osteoarthritis, this is also something you can use. So if you have joints that are painful, If you are like me going into menopause, you have to be aware of how your bones they are. So we need calcium and all these things. But you could also shower yourself in this orange yellow color from time to time to just strengthen and make your bones absorb better the nutrition that it needs. So maybe instead of taking too many supplements, or maybe just do both, then take a yellow shower, orange yellow shower, a yellow 16 shower, and just shower yourself in that beautiful color. You would lie with this color and just have it shining on you for, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes once a week or every second week. And maybe you have a lamp, you can put it in front, or you have that small lamp and you just put it somewhere where you think it's better for you. I usually like to if I want to treat the whole body, I like to treat on my spine. And if I treat on if I treat clients, I will take my torch, my flashlight, or my Premier 40, and I will put the color on, and I will run it up and down the spine, or just let a color just stand and shine light directly on their back with a naked back, so it goes directly to the nerve system. All right. If you want to buy any of these filters, because it's nothing to do with me, this is the founder made this this place where you can buy it. Then it's Citadelic that you have to talk to. Well, I don't know if I'm finished yet. Maybe you have some questions, but anyways, if you don't have questions and you find out later that you have, or you for some reason want to follow me and see what I do other than this, you can write to me from my homepage, which is godthjaelp.dk. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or you can write directly to me via email. So you're always welcome to write me if you have something that you want to ask me, and you are of course welcome to follow me and see the work that I do besides standing here teaching you tonight. So I will turn the slideshow off here, the sharing off. Let me see. We do that right here.
We do have a question, Rikke.
Yeah.
A question coming from Vision Care. What do the numbers stand for?
Oh yeah, this is Kodak filters. These are old Kodak filters. So these are some numbers that Kodak did to just remember the different colors. So it's nothing to do with specific treatments. When you look at the colors, you will see that the yellow have low numbers, and then you will get the orangey and then the reds and so on. But it's just for Kodak to be able to find the correct color at a point later. And then we have the letter in front, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, which is actually nothing to do with the Kodak code. It's something that we put in front. Or now I'm saying we. It's not. I didn't do it. Dr. Paul Nogier, he did it, and he put it in because there was this A. First, we work with the A with the one cell, and then the B with the splitting of the cell, with the doubling of the cell, and then the C and the D, and so it's just to get remember the movement of it. So yeah, so there is nothing specific about the numbers that I can share with you that makes any sense in any way, except this.
Yes, so we have a next question coming from Ruth Milner. If you use an LED torch, does it have to be a particular output power?
A particular output power. I'm sorry, maybe my English is bad, or I don't understand the question. What I can say is that what I can say about the LED is that it has to be as white as possible, so not too blue and not too yellow. We want to get to as close to white as possible. In the old days, we used to use something called the Heine lamp, which was which was the most white color we could find, and it was very expensive. But then came all these very cheap LEDs, and you can get LED in different color variations, and we want a color that is white. If you have a torch with an old type of what do you call it, light bulb in it, it doesn't really work as well, because you will get the yellowish color onto the color, and we don't want that. We want the color to be as clean as possible. So I don't know if I understood the question.
Well, Ruth Milner says output is usually measured in milliwatts or watts.
Oh, like that. So how strong does it have to be?
Yeah.
Well, that depends. You know, the stronger the light you put behind, the more treatment you would get to the body. But more is not always better. So if you do the I'm sorry to say cheap version, because it sounds so bad, but it's not. It's just, you know, it's always good to get started. It's better to get started than to do nothing. And when you get inspired, you can always, you know, buy something that's more expensive. But when you get started, you just, you know, you get started with this one, and then these are not super high in the oh, sorry, what did you call it? Well, in their energy of light. But when you use the Premier 40, you can turn the intensity of the light up and down. But to treat directly, if you take a color and you treat directly around an area and you're close to, it's fine to treat with this. And also up and down a spine, it's also fine to treat with this. Of course, you can always find more expensive and more fancy. It's never a problem.
Okay, so next question is from Suzanne Gregg. Are there case studies in print?
I think if you go to PubMed, you will find case studies. The only case study specifically that I know of this is from a very old study from the 80s that was done on a rabbit, where they put a rabbit in a box, and the rabbit's head was out of the box, and then they put light directly on the buttocks of this rabbit, and they didn't even remove the hair, and they could see that the dopamine increased even though the rabbit was relaxed, and it was not because it was scared. They could see the difference. But I have actually not been to PubMed to find some, but it's a good challenge, and I will see if I can find anything, and then I will share it on the Color Project, World Color Project site, and of course on my own site as well. So thank you for the challenge. It's always good.
Fenneke asks, can you let us see again, please, where to buy the filters?
Of course, no problem. I will share. Here we go. Wait. I'm sorry. Here we go. You will just write contact@citadelic.com, and you will get to Stephanie Cochette, and she will answer your questions. She's a very, very sweet woman, and very skilled at what she does. So she knows a lot. So ask her questions about the filters and you will get answers. Not so much about the treatment, but how to get them and all these things. Yeah.
Yes, so next question comes from Amy Michel, asking how are the colors calibrated?
Amy Michel, could you elaborate on that?
Amy Michel? Maybe we could do yeah.
If you want to, you can take the sound and then try to explain what it is that you mean. What you have. what you're talking about, so that I know more about it.
Michelle, do you want to formulate your question? Okay, Amy says, I work with Dinsha spectrometry. There are specific calibrations calculated for this.
Well, the way I work with this, and the knowledge that I have about these colors, is that they have a hertz vibration. So we measure this in hertz, and all of these colors have double up. So the A frequency has a 2.54 hertz, and then you just, oh, is it 2.56? And then you just double it up. I will just look it up and see if it's, and then you will, I hope that maybe this will help you in what you're searching for. Maybe you can tell me if it is, if it's what you're searching for, if this is the kind of answer, because I work with frequency and knowing the hertz, but yeah, I don't know if that's your, let me see here, just to get the hertz correctly so that you can know if this is of your interest. Here we go. So see, I was way off. Oh, I'm sorry. The A frequency is 2.28, and then the B frequency is the double. It's 4.56 hertz. And then the C is 9.12 hertz. And then the D filter is 18.25. We have the E, that's 36.5. The F, 73. The G is 146. And then we have the L frequency, which is not the double. It is 276 hertz. So maybe this helps. I don't know.
Yeah, Amy says thank you. And actually, I would like to give the word to Howard Wu, because Howard, you made a few comments. So maybe can you share that with us if you want, Howard?
Well, on the Nogier frequencies, I made a comment about that. They're usually used electronically, and they can be paired up with the light filters. All my others are just tiny language benefits for Rikke afterwards. But the filters, it's interesting. The filters actually will take the white light and subtract colors. So they're not actual specific frequencies. You can get a spectrum with the filters. I wasn't going to say that, but since you've asked me, I'll throw that in. And yeah, those are Kodak rattan filters. I don't know what else to say. Rikke was a great lecture. I learned a lot. I got to now go find a yellow 18 for my collection.
Oh, 16.
Yellow 16. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason behind the numbers in the filters. They're just how they Rattan, who's a person, invented them, and those are just the order that he came up with.
Yeah.
So thanks, Howard. That helps, says also Amy Michelle.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you. So do we have any other questions coming up? We have many thank yous in the chat, dear Rikke, for your excellent presentation. Highly interesting. Thanks a lot. So there's still room. Is there anybody wanting to comment or asking something more?
I was going to say in the United States, I think it was Lapsa or Osha back east that also carries philatelic filters. If you want to buy them here in the United States, they carry them from philatelic, so you don't have to order them.
No, I don't think that. I don't think when you order them, you don't order them from France. They will give you the the person
Reseller,
who sells
yeah.
them, the retailer in your specific country. They don't sell them directly from Cetaphilic. So you would never have to purchase from France and go through all of that. They will be sold directly in your country. So all this tax problems and transportation problems, getting it sent, will not be on you.
So thanks, really great. So we get so many thank yous. And Fenneke says, I work with color at home, also at the walls. They have effect on us.
Yes.
Thank you, Rikke from Vicky. So we are getting so many thank you. I guess I can't read all. I just want to express that, especially to you, really awesome presentation. And dear participants, you are going to receive all the recording and the replay, so you can watch it afterwards as well. And yes, Rikke, very much looking forward to the future and to some upcoming more informations in our Color Lights World project that is going on. Yeah, thanks all for being present. I hope that you will visit again. We are going to have in 2 weeks the next seminar on June 1st with Samia Ilaria Di Donato from Italy. She is going to present a journey through the colors of your soul in exactly 2 weeks. So thanks all for being here, and lots of lights and colors and love.
And thank you. Thank you for everybody for being here, and thank you for listening. It was great to have you here. Take care.
Take care. Thank you, Rikke.
Thank you.
You want to stay in a little bit, Rikke?
Yes, no problem.
Yeah.
I hope you all have a beautiful night. Yeah, bye, Howard, and thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Vélimia. Au revoir, Catherine.
Au revoir.
Au
Au
revoir.
revoir.
Bonne soirée.
Bonne soirée, oui. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
So we have, yeah. So
Oh,
dear,
that's good.
you can see the comments. I mean, it's really lovely. You got so many thank yous. Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
That's really nice. So congratulations. Was
Thank
excellent.
you.
Really excellent. And we
are
had
still recording.
Oh yeah.